just act like a real person. I get asked all the time, what's the key to being successful on social media? And the truth is, you just have to act like a real person. Whatever you would say to somebody if you ran into them in the store is fine to say to them online. Now, when I first joined Facebook, I was afraid to share things, and I didn't even know how to comment or when it was appropriate to like someone else's post. The more I've kind of taken my guard down and I just start to simply respond when it's obvious people are looking for responses and engage with their posts and just say what I actually think and share with them, the better my posts have done and the more excited I've been about sharing my own content and the more my following has grown. So just remember, act like a real person and you'll do very well on social media. That's your weekly marketing tip, and this is the Real Marketing Show. And now it's time for this week's featured interview. I'm here with Mark Gorman and Brett O'Daniel, the co-founders of HomeTraq. So guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for being here. So why don't we start off by just giving us a quick description of what exactly is HomeTraq?
HomeTraq is a real estate on-demand solution that provides the consumer the ability to schedule a home showing immediately when it's good for them. Good for their schedule, but the agents that they meet at the properties, they don't have to be committed or obligated to them. So they don't have to experience the same type of drama that comes with clicking on a Zillow link or something of that nature.
Really? Okay, so this is just kind of on-demand home showings, it sounds like?
On-demand home showings.
Very cool, okay. So if somebody wants to see a house, is there a website, or tell me about the process. What do they do to check out one of these listings?
All they have to do is go to HomeTraq.com and enter the address, the date, and the time that they want to see the property. Most likely they have found the home themselves online, whether it be on Zillow or Realtor.com or one of the other main sites. That's where at least 94% of the customers start their home shopping. So they find the property online, however they find it, just plug in the address, the date, and the time they want to see the property, and hit pings out to the agents that are available based on the schedule and availability.
Wow, okay. So you probably get this a lot. Sounds kind of like Uber for real estate kind of a thing.
There's a good analogy for Uber.
Cool, I like it.
It's the agents basically are on demand, and it's based on their availability and their location.
Wow, so it sounds like for a real estate agent, this would be a pretty cool marketing opportunity, right? Because like you said, these are not people that they're currently working with, right? So it's an opportunity to meet new customers?
It's exactly, we have hundreds of agents that are participating in the program, and it gives them the opportunity to actually meet with customers who are out there shopping for homes right now. And hopefully they get the opportunity to earn their business.
That's awesome. So for an agent, they sign up, and you mentioned that it kind of pings them, right? So is it something where, depending on their availability, how does that part of it work? They just say when they would be able to help somebody?
Right. So when an agent creates an account, it's just kind of like flipping the sign on the front door of their business. They're saying, hey, I'm open for business right now. So if they're in the vicinity of a showing that's been requested, they're going to get pinged and get the opportunity to see what that property address is. What's unique is we don't share the buyer's information or the agent's information. That's not exchanged until the agent has actually confirmed the appointment with the seller or the seller's agent through their traditional resources, and then they're able to chat through the app. So there's no connection being made. That's a big difference between us and Zillow, and we're also not integrated with the MLS. We're just acknowledging, like Mark said, 94% of consumers are finding houses online first. We found actually 65% actually find the home they want to get into before actually calling an agent. So we're just kind of bridging that.
Really? That many? 65%?
Are actually finding the property that they're interested in seeing without ever even talking to an agent because of all the online resources.
Sure, yeah. And I think one thing that's interesting about the real estate industry is there seems to be so many of these kind of technological solutions that it's kind of surprising have not been developed yet, right?
Right.
Because we're in 2019 now. You would think like a little bit of an on-demand solution would be there. So tell me about, the background to this. Like, how did you come up with the idea? Why were you the right people to start this kind of business? Tell us about that a little bit. Yeah.
So we have got 45 years of mortgage banking and real estate experience.
Wow. Okay.
So we come at it from a perspective of lots of experience and seeing things from a different perspective.
Sure.
We've both been real estate agents for a long time and brokers as well. So it basically came to to solve the solution of giving the consumer what it is that they want. Which is just an on-demand showing solution.
Something simple,
without all the drama that comes with the normal cycles.
Very cool.
And I think a distinguishing point is we are embracing the real estate community. So there's a lot of,
Sure.
you see these other services online, especially on West Coast, East Coast, that's trying to eliminate the real estate agent.
Oh, yeah.
We're embracing the local agents, just acknowledging that consumers are demanding a different way to meet agents and view houses. And then they're getting the chance to interview different agents and still develop that relationship. And then we're finding that's ultimately happening quicker than we ever anticipated.
That's awesome.
Build that relationship and then start working with an agent in a traditional relationship.
Well, it sounds like based on having that much experience, I mean, you guys probably recognize that obviously the way people are finding their home, as you mentioned, 65% finding the home before they contact the agent.
Yes.
And obviously serving them in the way that they're already behaving, right? So as opposed to, like you mentioned, some of these other companies either trying to cut the agent out or the lead gen companies. I mean, that stuff drives me crazy. I think there's like this year's gonna be 100 million online leads generated, right? Less than 1 million transactions actually come out of those leads, right?
The modern home buyer is just looking for a better solution.
Sure.
And that's what we've created, is a real estate on-demand solution, so they can get immediate access to the homes, so they can see the house without the commitment and obligation to the agents.
That's awesome. Okay. So tell me about, once the agent gets out there and meets the person, because obviously if you're an agent, it's great to do a showing, but you're probably hoping that person's going to sign up to maybe look at a few other houses with you.
Right.
Is there an obligation for the customer to do that, or what does that kind of interaction look like for them?
So basically the consumer goes out and they schedule the date and the time, and the agent connects with them, so that consumer can actually go view 5 houses, meet 5 different agents.
Okay.
So it gives them an opportunity to be able to not just inspect homes, but interview different agents, and they can make the selection of what agent that they want to work with.
Okay, makes sense.
So there's no commitment or obligation to those agents that are meeting them at the house.
Okay.
The agents do get paid a nominal fee to go show the house, so it's worth their time.
Okay. Cool.
But truly what they're doing is being in front of the customer, that if all of a sudden they connect and that customer decides that they want to work with that agent, then it's 100% in consumer's control.
Wow, that's awesome. So definitely improves the experience, it sounds like.
Right.
Definitely.
So give us maybe a case study. So tell us, you're started in St. Louis. Is that the only market you're in right now, or are you expanding? Or?
Sure. So yeah, St. Louis is where we've spent our whole career. So we're the majority of our connections, where the majority of the banks and the mortgage companies that are starting to roll this out to their customer base.
Okay.
But Kansas City across the state is going to be our second primary market, and then across the river over to Illinois up into Chicago will be the third market. So Missouri and Illinois regulatory real estate mortgage are very different states. So replicating this in Kansas City will be a little easier than going into Illinois. But then we're ready to do that. We've got a legal team put together to help us get through all those legal and regulatory obstacles.
Sure, yeah. I imagine every state is a little bit different in terms of what's required. Okay. Right. So what kind of agent are you looking for? I mean, I'm assuming there's probably a lot of demand for this, because it sounds like a great way to meet new customers. So is there a kind of real estate agent, maybe somebody at a certain point in their career or with certain ambitions, that you would say should sign up to work with you guys?
Well, we end up actually signing up the real estate brokerages.
Okay.
So, and then the broker actually helps participate in selecting the agents that are going to participate. So but the type of agent that we're looking for is somebody who is just willing to, do home showings on demand when it's around their schedule and meet new customers. And somebody that at least is tech savvy, in the sense that if they've run, Uber or Airbnb or anything like that on their phone, that they should be able to easily handle HomeTraq. We've made it very user friendly. So it's just an opportunity for the agents to get out there and meet new customers.
Cool.
It's been interesting. We anticipated in the beginning that our first customers on the agent side would be newer agents that are just getting in the business as a way to meet new potential clients. But what we found are the brokers are wanting to put some of their more experienced agents and their teams on this, because they know once their agents that are seasoned and good at doing what they're doing get in front of a customer, they're much more likely to capture that customer, build that rapport, so that the customer doesn't continue doing the on-demand showings, maybe goes into a more traditional relationship, which we're fine with, because we're just connecting the consumer with the agent. So whether they continue to use the app every time to schedule the showing, or just work with the agent traditionally, we support both models because our relationships with the broker, and that's who's the customer's being referred to.
Cool, and that's kind of what's best for them. So
right. And surprisingly, it's been interesting to see that the customer is actually selecting an agent to work with much earlier in the process than we even anticipated.
Oh, really?
So it's usually after about 3 showings.
Oh, really?
So the brokers are saying we want to put our best agents forward, because if the consumer is selecting that quickly, we want our best agents forward so that they select them.
Yeah, cool. Makes sense. So it sounds like on the broker side, that's where the relationship starts. I know you've told me before that you also work with the banks and the mortgage companies a little bit.
Correct.
So how do they get involved, and what's the benefit for them?
So one of our distribution channels, of course, we're doing consumer direct, but one of our distribution channels is that we actually have financial institutions, banks, credit unions, mortgage companies that actually market to this to their customer base. So they get the intelligence that their customer has started shopping for a home.
Oh, okay.
Because one of the biggest threats to a mortgage company or a bank is that their customer ends up going home shopping, meets an agent, and then they point them to their referral source, their lender of choice. So then a bank or a credit union doesn't even know their customer was shopping, and they've lost them as a customer.
Wow, yeah, and that's a pretty big sale to lose, right?
Correct.
Sure. Okay, so they put it out and they market it to their existing client base, and I mean that's obviously great intelligence that they're getting in return. So
it solves a huge problem for the banks.
I would imagine, yeah.
On a national level, for every mortgage that a bank captures of their own customer base, they're actually losing 15 customers to the competition. Wow, so if they're able to gain that intel that they have a customer who's actively shopping in houses, it's huge for them. They still have to capture them and provide the traditional service of a mortgage, but just getting that intelligence is huge.
Oh yeah, getting that signal. It's like now it's time to get aggressive and start pursuing it, right? Very cool. All right, well it sounds like there's a couple different kinds of people that can get involved and benefit from this. So is there a website where they sign up, or what does the process look like for getting registered with you guys?
So they just need to go to HomeTraq.com.
Okay.
Whether it be an agent or a consumer, they can go directly in there and make the request for a home showing, or an agent can actually enroll in there, but we do need to get their brokerage signed up first.
Gotcha. So it starts with the broker. Okay.
Correct.
And would you like the broker to be the one to reach out, or can they maybe start that conversation?
They can start the conversation for us, and we can reach out to their broker. It's just that we need to go into an agreement with the brokerage.
Gotcha.
At the very beginning.
And we've got a lot of brokers already signed up here in St. Louis, so there's a chance that a lot of the agents
they might
see this and hear about it. Yeah, their broker might already be signed up on it.
Very cool. Okay. And is there a cap as to how many you can work with, or can any broker in St. Louis still sign up with you guys?
No, there's not a cap.
Okay,
we don't put a limitation on it. It's entirely supply and demand driven. So the more that consumers request home showings, the more agents that we need, because we need to cover the entire statistical area.
Makes sense. Very cool. All right. Well, sounds like an awesome opportunity for both loan officers and agents. So very cool.
All right. So.
Well, thank you for sharing this with us today. We'd love to get some of our viewers to sign up with you guys. So Brett, Mark, thanks for joining us on the show today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course. If you are tuning in, we appreciate you viewing the Real Marketing Show with us. This is our third episode, and we'd love your feedback. So we are still developing the show. We'd love to know when ideally we should put it out. So let us know that, and also feedback just on what the process looks like and the structure. So thank you for tuning in, and join us again for the Real Marketing Show.